Hey guys, welcome back on my channel. Just like last time, I'm going to film my Empties vlog style because that's what works best for me. But I'm going to film it also in bits because I feel like I'm accumulating Empties quite fast and I really want to recycle some of the stuff that I have. So I'm gonna film this in 2 or 3 parts. So let's get started. First thing I finished is a hair product, and this is the Yako Beauty Soothing Oil Cream with macadamia oil. So it's actually a bigger tub, but I obviously cut it off. I had previously finished the red version of this, and the red version one is more to hold your curl pattern, whereas this one is just meant to be smoothing. I did use it. It's not my favorite actually. I prefer the red one a lot more. This one is a little bit, it doesn't have enough slip when you use it on when you put it in your hair. I feel like at the same time it's not moisturizing enough. I would have wanted it to be a bit more moisturizing. It doesn't, it's something about it is just not right for me. So it wasn't thick enough for me to like it as a daily butter, but at the same time it wasn't slippery enough for me to like it as a styling product. So it just sat as a hybrid. So if you were to consider the Yako Beauty range, I'd probably go for the red one because I just like it much better. Then I have finished the As I Am Coconut Co-Wash. Full disclosure, when I just bought this the first time, I used it a few times and I completely hated it. I even considered actually tossing it. Matter of fact, I might have tossed one, I'm not sure. But once I started doing the Anthony Dickey method, which is washing my hair a few times a week, I actually realized that I like having a co-wash. I have used it up. I thought that it was very moisturizing. It's not as cleansing as I would want it to be if I were solely relying on this. But luckily at the end of every week I am actually shampooing my hair, so there is no problem with that. But for day-to-day use I really liked it. Would I repurchase? Probably. But for now I want to finish the Devacare conditioner that I have, which is currently what I'm using whenever I co-wash. Continuing with hair, as expected, I have finished the Kinky Curly, not today. I am surprised that I haven't finished more than one, but expect to see this every month, just because I love this stuff. I just love it. If I could get like a 2-liter bottle of this, I would just get it, and you know, with a pump, one of those things. So packaging is not the best. Towards the end, when it gets really towards just a little bit up to here, you have to start it downwards. You have to add some water. Slip is amazing. I've never seen such slip, to be completely honest. I think that's what shocked me the first time when I just used it. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen that. And then it's only later that I realized, but it's also something that I like for day-to-day use, so I will continue using that. Today I'm not in a wash and go just because I don't feel like it, but at least 4 days in a week I would be having that in my hair, so it's definitely a holy grail product. We'll continue with things that I have in the bathroom with this Penhaligon's lavandula liquid hand wash. So Penhaligon's is one of those fancy stores that I have on the King's Road. It's right in front of Paul, if I'm not mistaken, and whenever I go to get my baguette for Saturdays, I always kind of walk past it. And so I remember one day I just ended up getting a lot of hand washes from it. I also have a candle from there. It's nice. I'm not sure though whether it's worth the price point. I think it's quite expensive for what it is. I think a hand wash is something like £23 or something like that. For that price I might just get an Aesop one if I'm gonna be as fancy. I do have a few more of this hand wash, so I have a second one of this lavandula, and I have 2 of the Quakers, and I have a body lotion and stuff. But honestly I wouldn't invest in that. It's just hand wash. I have finally finished the Geranium and Orange shower gel. It did take me forever to finish this because I remember I bought it when I had just moved to my apartment, so it's like 9 months, 8 months. You're supposed to keep it for 12 months, so that's fine. I mean, but the thing is, well, it wasn't, maybe I've had it for 7 months, but the thing is just it took me forever because I was using other things in parallel. But it's always quite nice to finish something. Neal's Yard is pretty natural. It's quite clean as beauty brand. That's what they claim, at least. You can buy it from Covent Garden, but this is just now like all over the place. I got this one from Waitrose. I would probably not repurchase just because I have quite a bit of backlog when it comes to my shower gels, so I really want to finish those that I have. This is something random that I'm tossing, but I'm just fed up with it. It's the Wilko original liquid soap flakes. So I was trying to find some eco cleaners, you know, something that has a little bit less toxicity, and I remember buying this as a replacement for my Persil delicate wash cleaner. This stuff doesn't clean. I tried to use it on so many things, it just doesn't clean. It left a residue. My stuff came with stains, and I tried to make it work. Like you can definitely see, I tried to make it work. Yeah, but it didn't. So I'm tossing it because I just can't. So I don't recommend this. Then the last bathroom thing before we go on makeup is this Sensodyne sensitivity blah 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 toothpaste. I have used it. It's quite basic. It's not my favorite just because I really like very minty toothpaste, so this one was not, I mean, it's for sensitive teeth. I don't like it that much, but also because I was working on a project for a client where this was their retailer and this was stolen all the time, and then they explained that it was because a lot of drug addicts use it as it numbs their gums, and for some reason I just cannot dissociate Sensodyne with heroin users, so I just I don't know, I don't want to repurchase it just because in my head I can't stop thinking about the gums and all that stuff. So I kind of not gonna repurchase. Right now I'm using a Marvis one, and I'm really tempted to use the Aesop one because I'm very curious about that. Then I am tossing two MAC products. The first one is a maximiser. So this is the False Lashes maximiser. It's just a white mascara. I have never used it just because I don't really need that. I have good lashes, so I keep repeating that, but it just, like, it's the truth. So I don't see myself using it, and I waited and waited and waited and just decided to toss it. So that's what I'm gonna do. The second thing is a depotted blush. This is MAC Raizin. You can see the color of it. I had bought it in a pan, which back in the day when I was collecting makeup, it seemed like a good idea to have blush in a pan just because it was 40 dirhams cheaper than getting it in a plastic box. Now in hindsight, I don't think it was worth it because I only use one blush at a time. I'm not one of those people who travel with an entire palette of blushes and they get to choose one for every day. So it wasn't really working for my lifestyle. And I remember the first time that I traveled with it, I broke it. And I felt so bad about it that I decided to depot the broken bit in here. And then I kind of didn't use it. And recently I decided to start using it. But then, because it's in here, it's very difficult to use. It's a powder. And it kind of, the bits kept falling here, because that's where I usually do my makeup. That's my makeup station, and the bits kept falling in here, and it has stained my carpet. So now it would probably cost me a lot more, many times more to clean my carpet professionally versus whatever I have saved by scraping the bits of MAC Raizin. So for this reason, this is going to the bin. I'm going to recycle the packaging, but I'm very unhappy about it. I'm very disappointed at myself for having done this. I should have known better, but now I'm just gonna have to deal with my carpet, and we'll see. So this is the end of part 1. See you part 2. Hey guys, I have the second bit of the empties now, but before we dive into it, I wanted to thank all of you guys for the positive feedback you gave to my series. The pilot was last week. I hesitated a lot to do that series because the thing is, whenever I have an existential question or something that really causes a lot of anxiety and self-introspection, I like to film my diary while I go through that phase. And when I moved to Brussels, I published the series afterwards. When I changed careers again and moved to London, I published the series afterwards. And I remember it caused a bit of confusion because some people thought that from the get-go I knew what I wanted to do, and it was not the case. But a couple people did not get that it was me showing you the entire process after fact. So for this series, I was thinking maybe I will wait a month or two until I'm really out of that psychological state where I'm at. But then I thought, let's try something different. Let me upload it while I'm still trying to figure it out. And I was really worried about negative feedback because there is a lot of mentioning of body image. Sometimes I mention weight and things like that, and I'm aware that it can be triggering. I'm aware that sometimes people cannot relate because they're thinking, oh, you look a certain size and so you are not allowed to complain. But luckily, after posting the first episode, I did not get any of that you're not entitled to have negative feelings about your body because you don't fit a certain stereotype. So that was very refreshing, and I'm very grateful for it, which is why I'm going to continue posting the other episodes of the series. Some of them are a bit intense, some of them are a bit more happy, but I am still in the process of filming this, so we'll get to that. But just wanted to take that parenthesis and really thank you guys. So for the second part of the empties, I just had maybe 4 or 5 more products that I wanted to show you. I have finally finished the Mamonde Petal Spa Cleansing Oil. This is rose scented. It wasn't my favorite. I honestly just wanted to finish it because I don't like it. So because I don't enjoy the scent, etc., I just use it as a first cleanse to remove my makeup. I reserve my better oils or my more indulgent oils for my second cleanse because then they cleanse my actual skin rather than just working on removing that first layer of grime and makeup. So that's that. Recently I have noticed that I'm not able, like, you know how I have a massive collection of deodorants, and I was trying to go through natural deodorants. I tried different brands, and it's one of my impulse purchases. To be completely honest, there isn't a single time that I travel and I don't buy a deodorant, so I usually have a lot of them. But I do have these two that I had bought when my luggage was lost, and when I traveled once to Copenhagen. And so I just went to a store, a cheap netto store, and I bought these two. They have 0% of a lot of, you know, paraben, colorants, perfume. But I noticed that when I use this, it just doesn't work on my body, and I end up stinking halfway through the day. I can't be bothered. Like, I tried to make it work, and then I decided it's too much of an inconvenience. And I'm very sensitive when it comes to body odors. I hate body odors, and so I think my sense of smell is a bit more developed, and I'm more put off by such sense, so I just don't want to be that person. So I just decided to toss them. And then what else? I have finished a very special toothpaste. So this is a 5000 ppm fluoride toothpaste. So I got it from my dentist because I naturally have very white teeth, but they're also extremely sensitive. So she's like, you're extremely lucky, but it comes at a price. So last time that I went to the dentist for the check, she said that your teeth are extremely sensitive because even when she just wants to cleanse them, cold water just makes me flinch. And so she gave me this and she said just use it and then it will kind of strengthen your teeth. I'm not sure whether it worked or not, but it's fine. Like, I'm glad I don't have to get fillings or anything like that because that would be a nightmare. My teeth are extremely sensitive. It's always been the case since I was a kid, so it's fine. I can live with that. Then I finished the Murad Retinal Youth Renewal Eye Serum. This was a sample that I received in one of the boxes. I honestly don't need anything for wrinkles, or I don't have crow's feet, no. And so yeah, I used it up. I felt that it was a cream that was easily absorbed into the eye. I like the texture of it. Obviously it's a sample size, so I finished it quite fast, but it was also a travel item, so it took me a couple months to go through it. But yeah, I would probably not repurchase it. I'm not the best person to recommend eye creams just because I don't have any wrinkles or anything like that, so I don't really need to have that. Then I have this Avon Extra Lasting pot, and part of what I'm doing right now is that like once a month or so, I like to go through my makeup section and just look at what I have been using, what I have not been using. I like to switch things up. Like today I have decided to switch my well, it's the end of the day, so it's very oily, but I have switched my blush. it doesn't really show. Well, I mean, I picked the wrong time of day to show you that, but fine. But every now and then when I'm trying to do that makeup switch over, I would find a product that is expired or that I don't feel comfortable using anymore. So this was one of those pots where you have just a mousse inside. I love the color. Green is my favorite color for makeup and for wearing in overall. It's not my favorite, but like it's one of my top colors. It just suits my coloring. But this one was completely dried out, so I decided to toss it. And then the last items that I have to close this April empties are some Aesop samples. So I have finished 2 of the parsley seed antioxidant facial toner and 2 samples of the hydrator from that same line. Now I've heard a lot about the parsley seed line. Everybody raves about it. It's one of the products that they've been around for ages, and so I went to the Aesop store and I said I want to try samples of this line. I'm not sure whether it's absolutely life-changing, but I must say I really like the smell of Aesop products. So I found myself actually using a toner, whereas most of the time I just get too lazy to do that. But with Aesop, because I love the smell so much, I found myself using it. I finished it during a trip. And for the moisturizer, I do find that their moisturizers are a bit too liquid for my liking, but there is a silver lining to it. Because they're liquid and they have a very low viscosity compared to what I'm used to using, I find myself massaging my face to work the product into the skin, and I think it might be a good an added value, because once I started doing this with these samples, after I finished them and started using my regular moisturizers, I started massaging my skin again, and I feel like it kind of helped install a very healthy skincare routine, like the habit of massaging my face, and my skin has been doing really well. I have a few little bumps and some texture, but I don't really complain much because usually it looks very nice even if I don't have a lot of makeup on, and I don't really apply a ton of makeup. These were my empties for April. I cannot wait to show you the empties for May, but in the meantime, please watch my series on the body image and finding my style, etc., and please do share it with lots of your friends, because for me it was something difficult to film and I finally mustered the courage to do it. So I wanted to reach a lot of people, and I want a lot of people who are going through something similar to be able to watch something that can uplift them. I'm still not I haven't fixed the issue yet, but it's a journey, and I hope many of you guys will follow me on it. So I'll see you very soon on my channel. Take care.